We will now discuss structure of a forensic report. The structure may vary based on type of report, but it is important to structure the report so that it is clear and readable. A common structure that you can use can have the following elements: the table of contents, a glossary of keywords that are used, list of documents considered or relied upon, list of annexures that are prepared by you, list of exhibits, which are essentially documents shared either by the client or in public domain, an introduction or background, an executive summary, and other sections, essentially one section for each key finding, and disclaimers. It is critical to have disclaimers in a report, and it's useful to have a standard set of language and terms for the disclaimer section of the report. It's important to remember the following aspects while structuring the report. Do not include anything that is not supported by facts. Do not include items that were not part of the agreed scope or procedures. Do not speculate or guess. Do not introduce a recommendation without an underlying observation. Do not criticize or comment, either positive or negative, on people, process, and systems. Be careful while using absolutes such as never, always, worst ever, or best ever. Use a neutral and balanced tone. Let the evidence and facts speak for themselves. Avoid any bias or judgment. Address people respectfully and consistently. Use titles if needed. And finally, have someone else read the report, especially someone who is not from the engagement, to ensure that the information is clear and the recommendation or analysis makes sense to a reader. We will now look at language considerations while writing a forensics report. First, you can use either UK English or US English. The use of an active voice versus a passive voice is a critical selection criteria. Keep the report simple, jargon-free, and acronym-free. In other words, be succinct. Write for your audience. Is your client in India, in the US, in the UK? Is it a regulator? Is it a panel of arbitrators, or perhaps others? Consistency in common terms is critical in the report. So it is best to define the word the first time it is used and use the defined term throughout the report. Structure the report so that there is one idea in one paragraph. Use simple sentences that are clear, concise, and precise. Prefer short sentences and short paragraphs, and avoid long sentences and combined sentences, and avoid sentences that are essentially one big paragraph. In terms of style and format, here are some tips and suggestions that you can use. Use an easy-to-read font and one font throughout the report with sensible spacing. Headers should repeat at the beginning of each table. Use section headings and subheadings to separate different viewpoints in the report. Ensure that there are no run-off text or tables, and if necessary, change your orientation from portrait to landscape. Use a comma and a semicolon carefully and frugally and not excessively. Remember, use of the word "the" before any word or every word does not make it fancy. Format the report, appropriate indentations and paragraphs, spell check the report, and be careful that Microsoft Word will not pick up a wrong word spelled correctly. Insert long tables and data in appendices or annexures and remove them from the main report. And the principle to follow while structuring a report is the KISS principle, or keep it simple, stupid.